Hello everybody, this is GGFace and welcome to a game between Socke and MorroW. Socke will be playing as the red Protoss player at the lower left hand corner, while MorroW will be playing as the blue Zerg player at the upper right hand corner. This is Socke's probe. He has scouted MorroW. He sent the probe after the pylon at the top of his ramp, and MorroW is going to get the gas at the 14th drone, and it looks like he is saving some minerals, probably going to be putting down the pool very soon, and there it goes, 14 pool, 14 extractor as well. Extractor first, of course, and it looks like 3 drones will go inside the extractor right away. He's probably wanting to get that gas for the metabolic boost or for the lair upgrade inside the base of Socke. There is an assimilator as well as a gateway, pretty much about the same timing, and there's going to be a pylon on the side as well. This overlord is going to be floating over to the base of Socke very soon. Well, not very soon, as the overlords do travel very slowly, and Socke's probe is dancing back and forth. He wants to know the exact timing of his opponent's potential hatchery expansion, but it looks like his opponent is not going to grab that hatchery very soon, as Socke is there and he does know what is going on. The cyber core is coming online at the moment. Let's take a look around the base around this map. The map is Xel'Naga Caverns. The base is irregularly shaped and it is pretty wide. There are a bunch of spots you can put pylons or hidden things around. And there's a natural expansion directly outside that has 4 chokes, one over here, and one set of destructible rocks over here, and one smaller choke to the left. And of course, this map is point symmetrical through the middle, and we do see metabolic boost is being researched for these Zerglings that will give them the quicker speed, but it will not come in time for this probe, as the probe is going to potentially put down something at the natural expansion of MorroW, and he will put down a pylon there. Meanwhile, a sentry is being built by Socke at the moment, and MorroW does destroy that pylon. The pylon went down to about 3 HP and then I think to 0. I don't think it was cancelled, and Chrono Boost is being spent on the warp gate technology that will allow the gateways to build those gateway units much quicker, and some Zerglings are going to be left behind, while 2 of the Zerglings are going to go over to the control towers, and 1 queen has spawned and has already injected, and the metabolic boost is about to be complete. And notice something weird here. Well, not weird, but the drones are no longer mining gas, because a lot of Zerg players do like to focus mineral heavy at the very first couple of minutes of the game. That will allow them to get a heavier advantage and also support the expansion and fill up with drones much quicker, as we see that the Zerglings are trying to get a peek up the ramp of Socke, and Socke was able to deny it, and he's probably going to try once again, as the hatchery is about 80% done, and 2 more gateways are being warped in at the moment inside the base of Socke. If we take a look at each player's vision, MorroW does not have too much information on the base of Socke. All he knows is that he has a gateway and a cyber core, which is not very useful. If we take a look at the vision of Socke, he only sees the spawning pool in the back, which is basically what he has right now. He also knows that, the drones of MorroW was actually a little bit early for the expansion, so they were just sitting there with the minerals from the home base, not able to turn those in for credits. And the Zealot and the sentries are going to come in here, and possibly the Zergling might be able to run up the ramp, and no, another Zealot will spawn in time, and the Zerglings are retreating. The units lost tab only shows 100, but it's not really 100, I think. It's either cancelled or I think it was destroyed. I'm not 100% sure. I did see it go down to about 3 HP before it blew up, so I think it was a destruction. So it was 100 minerals lost, and some more drones are being transferred to the natural expansion of MorroW, and the unit... one drone did go down there in the middle of the map, and the resources tab does show that the Zerg player, MorroW, does have more income, as he has already saturated his natural expansion a little bit, whereas the Protoss player, Socke, has not yet begun any saturation on the Nexus. In the meantime, 1 Stargate is about to be complete. It will be really interesting to see what he decides to build there. A Phoenix will be really useful against the Overlords and sort of prevent the Overlords from getting additional scouting information. He will probably be able to kill off this Overlord on the side as well. I think he's seen it with one of those sentries. He was poking at it a little bit, whereas the Zerg player that does have 3 queens, it looks like. 2 queens are pretty much necessary for the constant injection of the hatcheries. It's nice to get 1 additional queen to help that creep spread quicker, and looks like he does have 2 additional creep tumors to spread his creep. And we do see the missile attacks for the Zerg player, as well as the roach speed is being upgraded, and 1 forge is complete, and there is going to be 1 Phoenix chrono boosted out of the Stargate, and the Phoenix will be able to do some sort of harassment, I think, and a Void Ray is going to come out next. A lot more drones are being pumped out. We just saw that number go from 0 to about 8 simultaneously for those drones, so a lot more drones will be coming out. The resources tab shows both players are about even, but as these drones hatch, MorroW will get a resource advantage as soon as they get to the natural expansion, and this Phoenix is trying to do some damage, trying to kill off some of those overlords, but it looks like he is going to back off. I think he could have taken out that overlord on the side, and the third expansion for MorroW is going up, and the Phoenix will spot it accordingly. Very, very good timing there from MorroW, checking exactly what he needs to check, and some Zerglings are working on this backside of the destructible rocks near it. In the meantime, a robotics facility has gone up, and there is going to be one overlord, I believe, that went down to the Void Ray. The Void Ray has gotten 2 kills so far, and the hatchery is coming online momentarily as the roaches are joining into the fight to get this expansion accessible for the Zerg. And the army size does show that the Zerg player has an advantage. The Zerg does have 88 versus 76 of the Protoss. And the Protoss player might be thinking about taking down this hatchery with the Void Ray, as he needs to bring one queen over to try to protect it. The Phoenixes are going to get shot by the queens. I don't think this is what he intends to do. Maybe he's microing a little bit inside his own base, not really paying attention to the battle. As the robotics bay is going to go down, as well as more Hydralisks. And this is a very close to death Phoenix. He might consider just trying to run this away right away, and oh no, he drops the queen. It kills off the Phoenix, and one queen does go down. That is not a very good exchange. Queens are 150 minerals, whereas Phoenixes are 150 plus 100 gas, so that is a net loss of 100 gas. And oh no, he's sending this Void Ray and these Phoenixes into a pack of Hydralisks. That is never a good idea. This Phoenix might also go down. Oh, he does escape barely. 1 or 2 more shots from those Hydralisks would have taken it down. The army size does show 117 to 83. The Zerg player is backing up very well. The second robotics facility will be coming online. Perhaps he's thinking about doing double Colossus, double time, and more drones are going to come out, and he's going to pick up this Zerg. That is, I think, a little bit of a waste, because a Zergling is only about 25 minerals. There's a Zergling at the expansion of Socke at the moment. And if you were to pick up a drone, that is 50 minerals plus whatever income the drone will make over the lifespan of the drone. So I think it's much more useful, and he could not pick up any of those drones because he did not have enough energy, because he picked up that one Zergling at the middle. He does have enough energy now, as the Hydralisk does snipe one more of those Phoenixes. Very, very nice play there. The second upgrade for the missile attack is coming online momentarily for the Zerg player, whereas the Protoss player is about to finish his +1, and I think he is going to try to do a push as soon as that +1 finishes with the Colossus. If we take a look at the unit composition of both players, we see a nice mix of Hydralisks as well as roaches, whereas the Protoss player does have this one little Immortal just bouncing around the back there. The Immortal does kill off the rocks a little bit faster, but he was blocked off by his teammates a bunch of sentries, and he does have 5 sentries. If he could get off some of those very good force fields, that would change the tide of the match. And it looks like there's one Zergling still at the natural expansion, and there's still one Phoenix flying around the map. And we might see the first engagement here, as he's also making more and more Colossus. At the moment, his thermal lance is about to be complete, and I think he is going to want to push in here because he does not yet have his third, and he knows his opponent is already on his third and does have a pretty nice saturation at his third base. More roaches have spawned, and we see 6 Corruptors on the way. Corruptors are extremely good against Colossus because not only do they do extra damage, they also give you all of your units 20 extra damage if they were to attack whatever target the Corruptors are attacking. And one Roach is going to come in here, probably going to die right away, but that Roach's life was sacrificed to get some sort of information. Army size is at 172 to 134. Very good unit mixes for both players, but I think it's a little bit more in favor of the Zerg player, as he does have those 6 Corruptors coming in. The hatchery is going to go down. There is one of those transformable thingies, and those were shot down by Socke. And Socke is going to engage here. I think he does have 4 Colossus, which is a really good number of Colossus, and the Zerg is coming in, and these Colossus will be the key to this battle. One Colossus goes down almost immediately to the focus firing of the Corruptors. Another one is going to go down as well. The force fields are forcing a lot of the units back, and oh no, the Colossus are going down very quickly to the focus firing of those Corruptors, but these units can't kill off the Corruptors fast enough, and 3 Colossus have fallen, but there's 2 more Colossus on the way, and these Roaches and Hydralisks are trying to get us around. The force fields are preventing some of them from getting us around, but I think the force fields aren't doing that much because the Hydralisks and Roaches are still within striking range of the Colossus and the Protoss units, and the last Colossus goes down, and more Stalkers and Zealots are going to reinforce, but that might be a little bit too late because you never want to scatter and have your units move in a little bit at a time. The army size does show 130 to 89. The two Colossus, or the one Colossus, is walking very lonely across the map. He does miss his little buddies. And some probes, are going to move to the third base, the high yield expansion. The income tab does show the Zerg having a significant advantage in terms of both minerals as well as gas. And it looks like he might want to come in here and try to seal the deal. And the army size is at 160 to about 100, about 60% advantage, and the roaches are coming in here. He probably wants to kill off the Colossus, and the Colossus are moving back very smartly into the fire of the cannons, and the roaches can't really kill off these two Colossus as they're taking too much damage. The probes are getting into it, but the army size was decreased significantly for the Protoss player, whereas the Zerg player did get a lot of those roaches very, very close to death. 4 of those roaches extremely close to death, but not quite there yet. And 2 additional gateways are going to come online, as there is a total of 6 gateways. There is one observer watching over the roaches of MorroW, and MorroW does have 2 0 upgrades, whereas the Protoss player only has 1 0, so that is also another advantage. MorroW does have all sorts of advantage, unless he makes a huge blunder here. I think he should be able to take the game, as the Protoss player is only on 3 base, and he has a smaller army as well. And this changeling is going to come inside 175 to 103, and he also has tons of eggs. Oh no, he does not have tons of eggs, and there's 2 changelings over here. Those are very nicely placed changelings, I suppose. He does get some information on his opponent. Ooh, those both are going to go down. There's 3 Colossus. Army size does show a very, very significant advantage for the Zerg player, as there's 4 Colossus, 4 Stalkers, 2 Sentries, and 2 Zealots. That is not going to be enough against 25 of those roaches, and 9 Hydralisks, and also 6 Corruptors. That is not a very even battle. Some Immortals are going to come onto the field, but there's just so many of those roaches, and they move so quickly on creep, and he's going to try to engage from the side, possibly snipe off some of those probes. 2 not very well placed force fields, and that is a pack of spinning Corruptors. I'm not sure if you guys caught that at the edge of your screen there. There are 2 Zealots on this side, 1 Phoenix over here to see if the Zerg has expanded, but the Zerg really doesn't need to expand, as the Protoss is under the number of bases the Zerg player has, and they almost managed to take out one of those Corruptors, but there is a lot of Corruptors, holy cow. And the Corruptors are going to come in here and take off one of those Colossus. Colossus are running back. This is exactly what you want for the Zerg, making the Colossus run, not having the Colossus engage any of your units, fighting the gateway units with the units of the mass number of roaches and Hydralisks. The Corruptors have done their job, and there are no more Colossus. And there is a lot of roaches versus Stalkers right now, and you can see that MorroW is moving up bit by bit. Every single time he attacks, he moves up a little bit to get the rest of his forces in range as well. And there is one Immortal. This Immortal is going to die very hard, and there is 1 corruption charge on it, and it is going to take extra damage from other units, and it looks like he is going to try to take down this gold expansion, as there's going to be more units reinforcing. 8 more roaches are going to come as well, and there is only about, it looks like, 6 units for the Protoss player, and he is fighting a very bad losing battle here, and the Hydralisks are going to take down the Nexus. The income tab shows a huge advantage for the Zerg player, as he has about double the minerals as well as the gas, and this is a very good move by the Zerg player, coming to the newly developed base, turning it into a pulp. And the Zealots are coming in here, but there's simply too many Hydralisks, too many roaches. There's 1 Colossus. Colossus gets shot down almost immediately by those Corruptors. And good game, Socke. Hope you guys enjoy that. Game number 2 will be coming very shortly. If you like what you see, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/GGYourface. Thanks for listening. See you guys at the next game.